What's at stake if E.T. doesn't become the best E.T. he can become? What am I giving up? What harvest am I losing?
People tell me all the time, it's hard to get wealthy. It's hard to grind. It's hard to be focused. How do you even do these speeches? It's hard to stay motivated.
We lie to ourselves. We don't tell ourselves the way things really are. And when we do that, then we can't fix our problems.
Every day, I wake up and think of my ideal life. I have so many goals that I want to accomplish. I have so much that I want to do. I have a vision of my life, and I'm nowhere near where I want to be. At times, I get overwhelmed, and I become so impatient with myself. I truly feel sometimes I'm just falling behind.
That's why I'm here to tell you, any of you today, you can have a harvest. You can have whatever you like, and it don't have to be corn, it's whatever seeds you plant. If you can't see it before, if you can't see it while it's in the ground, mustering up and doing its thing, because listen to me, it's doing something down there long before it gets up here. But if you can't see that it's doing something down there, and if you don't have the ability, even in your trials and tribulations, to say it ain't over until God says it's over, and have the ability to move on past that, and be afraid of what you can lose. Listen to me, we're not talking about what you fear about getting embarrassed because you raise your hand, or the fear you get when you turn in the paper and you're afraid that the teacher's gonna see who you really are, or you're scared to do something because the unknown. No, we're not talking about that fear. We're talking about the fear of, if I don't become what I should become.
And then one day, I came out, and a hush went across the audience, because it must have been something about me that indicated that I had come to myself. And Mr. Washington had been practicing with me to give a presentation. And I looked at the audience and I said, I choose not to be a common man. It's my right to be uncommon if I can. I seek opportunity, not security. I do not wish to be a kept citizen, humbled and dull by having the state look after me. I want to take the calculated risk, to dream and to build, to fail and to succeed. I refuse to live from hand to mouth. I prefer the challenges of life to the guaranteed existence, the thrill of fulfillment to the stale calm of utopia. I will never cower before any master, nor bend to any threat. It's my heritage to stand erect, proud and unafraid, to face the world boldly and say, this I have done. Girl stood up and said, that's my boyfriend, honey.
What's at stake? It's your boy E.T. Listen to me very closely. Forget about January. Forget about February. Forget about March. Forget about April. Forget about May. Forget about June. Forget about July. Forget about August. Forget about September. It's over. So forget about the past. Listen to me and make the rest of your life the best of your life. It's your boy E.T. I know you can do it. I believe you can do it. We got to get rid of pain this year, all right? No excuses. I put up with it last year. Don't call me. Don't write me about pain. Listen to me. All roads to success, you got to go through pain. They all success. When you travel down success, you got to go through the road of pain, baby. I told you before, if it was easy, everybody would do it. Forget about it. If you think it's going to be easy, if you think you're just going to get that business started without any trials or tribulations, forget about it.
I like me some Les Brown, baby. But I didn't start off like that. You have something special. You have talents and abilities in you that you don't even know. So how do we begin to create wealth? Let me give you some ideas. Number one, write this down, knowledge. What knowledge that you have in this economy, part of what we need, that people are willing to pay you for that. Next is talent. What talent? Dion's talent's playing football. I didn't have that as a talent. My talent is talking. To me, my definition of success is doing what you love to do and find somebody to pay you to do it. So I find people to pay me to talk. I talk. I brought a game to this country called Beard Whist that I invented.
I feel at times the clock is winding down. It truly is a struggle to stay positive and motivated. Sometimes, like most people, I want to throw in a towel and just give up. Sometimes it just feels like there's just no use, there's just too much ground to cover. I need to cover it so that I can get where I need to be. I need to constantly remind myself over and over again, I am not yet where I want to be. but I know I'll get there. I am not where I want to be.
It's hard to stay broke. It's hard to stay depressed. It's hard to stay governed by anxiety. It's hard to be inconsistent. It's hard not to have daily disciplines. It's hard not to believe in yourself. It's hard to be broke. It's hard to be poor. It's hard. It's all hard. So choose your heart. You either gonna work for it, or you're gonna sit there and let life knock you down and dare you to get back up. It's hard to practice perseverance. It's hard to practice compassion and forgiveness. It's hard to set personal goals. It's hard to take care of yourself. It's hard to be broke. It's hard to live in bitterness and unforgiveness.
If we can't fix our problems, we're not going to improve. So we have to be truthful to ourselves. You have to stop rationalizing, stop making excuses, stop telling yourself little watered down assessments of where you're really at. Tell yourself the truth so that you can get where you want to go. You can be who you should be when you do what you know you should do, when you pay attention to the little things, when you implement discipline. True and unflinching and unmitigated discipline in your life. When you stop trying to find a sweatless solution. When you look for weaknesses to work on. And all that starts when you stop lying to yourself. That's when you can become who you know you should be.
I am so grateful. I am not where I used to be. I am talking to those people that are just about to give up, that are just about to lose all hope. I am here, ladies and gentlemen, to cheer you on, to let you know that you my friends, are going to get there. You are going to get that promotion. You are going to complete that marathon, and you are going to run for your life. Whatever you are working towards, you are going to get there, but you got to get crystal clear what it is you want.
It's difficult to be jealous of somebody. It's hard to let yourself go. It can be difficult to lay your life down and humble yourself and rid yourself of the disease of ego, pride, and comparison and competition. It's difficult. It's hard to be creative. It's hard to be an introvert. It's hard to be an extrovert. Singleness can be difficult. Marriage can be difficult. Raising your children on your own can be difficult. It's hard to wake up early. It's hard to wake up late. But there's a reward on the other side of waking up early. If you wake up late, you've lost too much daylight. What somebody else did before you woke up, now you only have a fraction of the day to get it done. There's a reward on the other side of one pain, and there is regret on the other side of the other pain. And if you're going to win the reward, you're going to have to persevere. You're going to need endurance. You're going to need to be consistent. And on the other end of the pendulum, there is the pain of regret.
Tell yourself the truth about where you are so you can make sure you are in the right place. And if you're not in the right place, then you can get yourself on the path to get there. The path of discipline, the path of hard work, and the path of truth. The skill itself is being able to detach during the event. The hard part is to notice. You gotta look for those signs. You gotta look for that moment when you start feeling emotional, or you know that it's gonna be something emotional. You gotta step back from those and get yourself in the habit of asking yourself, what do I look like right now? What do I sound like right now? Listen to the words that are coming out of your mouth and see if you're being a reasonable human or not. Look for the emotional quicksand and don't step in it. The emotion of the anger, the frustration.
What it is that you are seeking for, what it is you truly want. You must know. You've got to know that you're going to get there, but most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, work like hell across the ground and keep moving. Make the ground shake, crack the world. Get it going, don't let nothing stop you. I am pleading with you. Where the rest of the world shuts you down, you've got to be the one to stand up, shout out, cry out, stay tall, work hard, dig deep, and go after it.
If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn out tools, if you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will.
Humans don't want to die because deep in their hearts, they know that they have not finished what they were born to start. That's why they don't want to die. When a person have discovered their purpose and have fulfilled their destiny, they welcome death. Death never threatens a human who discovers their purpose. The Apostle Paul, for example, was not afraid to die. As a matter of fact, the Apostle Paul died willfully. He decided to die. Let me quote him. I quote, "I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. I have been poured out like a drink offering, and there's nothing left for me to do. I am now ready to be offered." Wow. He had this clear confidence about death. So please write these statements down, please. Very important. First, I want to talk to you about purpose and destiny. Write the two words down. And I want to focus on, in this first segment, the laws of personal success from a kingdom perspective. Let's talk about success for a minute. Proceed. Now, success is something that every human wants. Everybody wants to succeed.
There's all kinds of different ways to break. You can break physically, you can break mentally, you can break your heart, you can break your spirit, and none of those are fun, and all of those are gonna leave a mark. But the mark that they leave can be the mark of victory, or it can be the mark of defeat. Because every time you break, and in every way that you break, while it's a chance, it's definitely a chance for you to give up and for you to just to fall apart. But there's also opportunity. There's opportunity to get stronger and get smarter and get faster and get tougher and get more stable and get more resilient and get better. When you break, you have the opportunity to show the world, the whole world, what you are really made of. So if you break, if you break, the fight isn't over. In fact, if you break, the fight is just beginning. And as you crawl up and out of that dismal and wretched place, covered, and you're covered in blood and sweat and dirt and filth as you rise above what you were, and as you take the form of who you are supposed to be, you will see that in the very act of standing up, in the very act of fighting on, you will become and you will remain.
But for you to succeed in life, there are 5 questions you must answer. And every human being on earth is trying to answer these questions right now, including the person sitting in your chair right now. These 5 questions control the human race. These 5 questions motivate everything you do. These 5 questions are so powerful that they create everything in this planet that humans do. These 5 questions are the source of all of your problems. They are the source of all the crime in your city. They are the source of all of your broken homes and divorce. They are the source of all corruption. These 5 questions are the source of every problem a human faces, is in these 5 questions. In other words, our attempt to find the answer to these 5 questions is the cause of all of our behavior. As a matter of fact, you came here tonight and you're watching this program live around the world because of these 5 questions. I have reduced all of human life to 5 questions. Write them down. Number 1, who am I? It's a tough question to answer. Most people have never asked nor answered that question because it's a frightening question. The average human never answers that question. Who am I? The second question that you must answer to become successful in life is, where am I from? Where am I from? Again, 99% of the world's population never answers that question. That question has nothing to do with your ethnicity. Where am I from? The third question every human must answer to become successful on this planet is, why am I here? Why was I conceived? Why was I born? And I am certain that most of you sitting here in this room still have not answered that question. Why am I here on this planet? The fourth question every human must answer to be successful is, what can I do? What can I do? That question has to do with, what am I capable of? Again, over 90% of the world's population haven't answered that question. And the last question every human is grappling with is the question, where am I going?
I need you to die on E. You heard what I said, die on E. E.T., what you talking about? Die on E. I ain't no car. Man, I remember when I was young, my first whip, I had a blue Escort. That's right, a blue Escort, right? And I'm gonna tell you something, man. My car broke down. I never forget the day it broke down. I had filled the car up, that's right, with gas. I had gotten an oil change. Listen to me, I had an oil change and the car was almost on full. And when that car died, I had about 40 bucks in that car. Are you hearing me? You heard what I said. Die on E. When you die, when life is over for you. Are you hearing me? I don't want you to have one idea left in you. I don't want one dream left in you. When you die, I want you to go for broke. Every CD that you were supposed to do, every book you were supposed to write, every degree you were supposed to get. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Everything you were supposed to accomplish. When you die, don't go to the grave with nothing. When you die, die on E. And what I mean is, I want you to give everything you got. I want you to, listen to me, full potential. I want you to get everything out your system. So that's number 1. You got, my boy Alex put it like this. The reason why you guys are going to separate yourself from everybody else if you die on E, because most people that are alive are living on neutral. They driving in neutral. They operating in neutral. So I want you to get out of neutral and put it in drive. I need you to transition from the I to the A. That's right, I said it. Transition from the I. And what's an I? The I is an idea. That's all it is. It's an idea. So I want us to do more A than I. That's right. I want us to live in the A and not the I. What do I mean by that? Some people, man, they got an idea and all you do is talk, talk, talk. Every time you get an idea, you pick up the phone, you call your homegirl, you three-way, you get on conference call, and you getting excited about your idea. All right? You telling your mama about it, your daddy about it, and there's more life in you when you talk about the idea than you put any action in it. Are you hearing me? So do me a huge favor. Write the idea down and then shut up. You heard what I said. Write the idea down and shut up. You ain't got to share your idea with 50 people. Write the idea down and boom, get to stepping, baby. Get to the action. Because listen to me very closely. Your success is not determined on just what you say. Now, I'm not disagreeing with you got to speak stuff into existence. I'm not disagreeing with that. But I'm telling you, you can't talk about it all the time. You got to be about it.
If the truth be told, we were being totally honest. Most of us don't like waiting. Particularly if we're waiting for something to change or something to get better. Waiting can be a very frustrating experience. But the worst kind of waiting of all is waiting on God. When God forces you to wait for things to get better in your life, for things to improve, to change, to reverse, and nothing is happening. And yet, over and over and over again in the Bible, we're told to wait on the Lord.
The most difficult place for you to be in life is in God's waiting room. In God's waiting room. Some of you are in God's waiting room right now. What is God's waiting room? When you're in a hurry for something to happen and God isn't. That's God's waiting room. Some of you are in a hurry to graduate. Some of you are in a hurry to get married. Some of you are in a hurry to start a family. Some of you are in a hurry to launch a new business, to close a big deal. Some of you are in a hurry for a big goal, a big dream, a big accomplishment. Some of you are in a hurry for all kinds of different things, and God isn't.
And one reason we get in a hurry is we think we're falling behind. Our friend is getting married. Our coworker got promoted. The neighbors moved into a new house. We got to make things happen. We're being left out. Well, here's the key. What has your name on it will not go to anyone else.
We don't like to trust somebody else's timing. Why? Because we lose control. And so we'd rather than trust God, because trusting God means, my goodness, I actually have to trust God. We'd rather go, listen, I like the plan and purpose you have for my life, but can we do it my way? And here's the funny thing. Now that I'm a parent, I recognize in my children that they don't like it to wait on my timing. They don't like to wait. They don't like to chill and be patient. But the thing is, if they would just trust my timing, they would recognize it's for their good. It's for them to be blessed and prosperous. And so you can live life frustrated, anxious, stressed out, angry, or you can rest and go, God, I have to trust in your timing.
Another thing you have to learn in life is that a delay is not a denial. There's a big difference between no and not yet. Now, immature children don't know the difference. You tell a kid, not yet, they start crying and having a hissy fit because they think it means no. They don't understand a delay is not a denial.
We all have things that we're waiting for, problem to turn around. When it's taking longer than we thought, it's easy to get discouraged, to become impatient. But sometimes it's not happening because we're not prepared for what God has prepared. You need more time to grow, to develop, to gain experience. Patience is developed in the wait room. Before you see what God promised, God will send you to the wait room. You may not like it. Other people are in the game, making progress. You're stuck waiting. You may not see anything changing, but something is happening. Patience is working. You're growing, developing, getting you prepared so you can sustain what God has coming. Don't get discouraged because it's not happening as fast as you would like. When He knows you're ready, what you give birth to is going to be much bigger than you've imagined. Maybe you've been praying, being your best, but you don't see anything changing. Have a new perspective. You're in the wait room. You're not falling behind. God has you right where He wants you. Now do your part and wait with a good attitude. Thank you that what you promised is on the way. If you will wait with the right attitude, after patience has done its work, you're going to see promises come to pass.
Don't allow a moment of agony to make you draw a conclusion about life prematurely. Because if you just keep on walking with God, God has a way of making everything all right. But he warns us that the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. Now, the term steps implies process. Means it's gonna take a while. Because a blessing given too soon is not a blessing at all. I can give my son the car keys now, but had I given it to him when he was 5, it would not have been a blessing at all. He can't handle it. So would I be a good father if I gave him a good thing too soon? Sometimes my goodness is proven by my ability to say not yet.
You see, while you're working on your project, your goal, your dream, your vision, God's working on you. And God's much more interested in you than in what you're trying to accomplish. Because you're not taking your accomplishments to heaven, but you are taking your character. And sometimes God says, yeah, I intend to give you what I've promised you. I intend to answer that prayer. I intend to fulfill the vision, but you're not ready yet. I want you to grow, and when you're ready, then it's going to happen.
And I'll admit, I don't like to wait. I like to make progress. I like to get things done. But I've learned some things take time. So much is developed in the process. When you're doing the right thing, but nothing's changing, remember, something is happening. You're growing. You may not like it, but you can't bypass the process. David said, God, my times are in your hands. I not only trust your ways, but I trust your timing. When I'm ready, when I can handle it, you will take me to new levels of my destiny. Something may have your name on it. You know God has put it in your heart. But if it happens too soon, the blessing will become a burden. Sometimes God proves his love to us by what he's not letting us have. We just have to spend more time in the weight room, growing, learning to trust God, learning to keep a good attitude when things aren't going our way. The sooner we pass these tests, the sooner God will release what belongs to us.
You can never lose faith. When you don't see no way how, you have to buckle down and keep believing. God is always coming. The moment you ask God for something, he boxes it up and he ships it to you. It's going to come. He just don't tell you when. But he don't tell you when the package is going to arrive. So here's the deal. He wants you to stay in faith to receive the package, because he only delivers to Faith Street. That's how it works, man. Let me tell y'all something. Being successful is not a magic trick. You just have to learn the principles of success. I am telling you, your education ain't got nothing to do with it. Now, when you gonna ask him for it, and are you gonna wait for it to happen? Or are you gonna lose faith? Well, I guess it wasn't the Lord's will. How you know what God's will is? It all happens at an appointed time, but you have to stay in faith for the appointed time to happen for you.
Everybody in your life will have a turn back moment. No matter who you are, you're going to have such a period in your life where it seems like it's not working. You're going to have doubts. You're going to have a lot of trials and tribulations and challenges. And everybody has what's called a turn back moment. You always have a moment in your life where the direction you're going, you will have to make a decision to keep going or you turn back. The sad thing is, the average person turns back.
You gotta get downright funky if you wanna make it. For if you wanna be ordinary, you ain't even gotta listen to me. Just go on about your business.
If you think ordinary's cool, ain't no problem. It's some really, really wonderful ordinary people. But if you are sitting in this room and you have extraordinary aspirations, then you're gonna have to do extra. It's no other way. I'm sorry.
Everybody can be the best you're capable of being. And I want to tell you, if you want to fail, you have the right to fail. That's what's great about this country. You do not have the right to cause other people to fail because you don't do everything best your ability. When you join a spouse, you bring a child in the world, you join a business, you join a team. You have obligations, responsibilities, and you owe it to other people to do the maximum you can at each and everything you do. It's not complicated.
When you become 18, nobody tells you that it's now going to be your job to parent yourself. And by parent yourself, I mean it's your job to make yourself do the crap you don't want to do so you can be everything that you're supposed to be. And you're so damn busy waiting to feel like it.
You got to get messed up sometime. You got to get dirty. You got to get your feelings hurt. You got to get disappointed. You got to get told no. You're going to ask somebody for some money. He going to tell you no. But at least then, when I see somebody trying and I tell them no, I try to at least give them something else. See, I'm not going to hand you a fish saying, I'll teach you how to fish.
The life's a matter of making choices, wherever you are, good or bad, because of choices you make. Don't blame anybody else, but if you get an education, you're willing to work and overcome problems and difficulties, in this great country, you can amount to something.
The average person blows all of their 20s. Then when you find out that life ain't waiting on you, now you're 30. Now guess what happens to mostly all of us, including myself? I spent all of my 30s trying to do the things that I should have been doing in my 20s. So now my life is behind. Now you look up and you're 40s, you in your 40s, and now you're trying to do the things and have the things that you could have had in your 30s, man. And if I could tell anybody, man, if I could do it again, I would have changed the way I lived my 20s. And if I was in my 30s, you really in your 30s, it's time out for clubs and drinking and happy hours and parties. In your 30s, it should just be about the business of your life. I'm telling you, man, I did so many things wrong. I made so many mistakes. Homeless, living in a car. I made incredible mistakes. I could have avoided a lot of them. Now, it created who I am. Now, once you've made the mistakes, just get up, man. Don't wallow in them, because you can recover from all mistakes.
Things happen to you in life that you can never, ever anticipate. And many times when those things happen, you want to give up.
You have to decide if you are willing to do the things to put you in that category. Rich people don't sleep 8 hours a day. That's a third of your life. It ain't but 24 hours in a day. You cannot be sleep 8 hours a day. You can't live in LA and wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's 11 o'clock on the East Coast. The stock market been open 2 hours. They already making decisions about your life and your ass was asleep. The Bible says, he who loves to sleep and the folding of hands, poverty will set upon you like a thief in the night.
Imagine you're on your deathbed, and standing around your deathbed are the ghosts representing your unfulfilled potential. The ghost of the ideas you never acted on. The ghost of the talents you didn't use. And they're standing around your bed, angry, disappointed, and upset. They say, we came to you because you could have brought us to life, they say. And now we have to go to the grave together. So I ask you today, how many ghosts are going to be around your bed when your time comes?
about that, really. Why are you where you are in your life? The choices that you have made have been because of what you believe to be true for yourself.
If you do what most do, which is put in the effort for a small amount of time and then quit as soon as things don't work in your favor, you'll never get the rewards. If you're only in it for you, if all you care about is what you get out of it, the results won't come. People buy from those who are genuinely adding value. Those who offer something that makes other people's lives easier. Those who offer something that makes other people's lives better. Be the person who adds that kind of value.
Don't choose anything that will jeopardize your soul. Prioritize who you are, who you want to be, and don't spend time with anything that antagonizes your character. All right, life is not a popularity contest. Be brave, take the hill, but first answer that question, what's my hill? Your successes and the reciprocity of gratitude. We so often focus on failure, don't we? We study failure. We obsess with failure. We dissect failure and our failures. We dissect them so much we end up intoxicated with them to the point of disillusion. And when do we write in our diary? Usually when we're depressed. What do we gossip about? Other people's flaws and limitations. And we can dissect ourselves into self-loathing if we're not careful. I find that most of the times our obsession with what is wrong just ends up breeding more wrong, more failure.
You got to put more air in your bubble. You got to blow your bubble up. Expand yourself. Take yourself out your comfort zone. Do not live in your bubble. Put some more air in your bubble. You will fail in your comfort zone. Success is not a comfortable procedure. It is a very uncomfortable thing to attempt. So you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable if you ever want to be successful.
You got to get out there. You got to give it everything you got, whether it's your time, your talent, your prayers, or your treasures. What are you going to do with what you have? I'm not talking about how much you have. Some of you are business majors. Some of you are theologians, nurses, sociologists. Some of you have money. Some of you have patience. Some of you have kindness. Some of you have love. Some of you have the gift of long suffering. Whatever it is, whatever your gift is, what are you going to do with what you have? Times, it's the best way to figure out where you're going. Life will never be a straight path.
Just genuinely caring about people, because everybody you're going to meet the rest of your life needs a smile, needs a kind word, needs encouragement. Because see, when you do the right thing, people are always going to be able to trust you. My wife and I have been married because we can trust each other. I never lose the trust. The only way people are ever going to trust you if you do the right thing. That's all God wants us to do. Do the right thing. Do everything best your ability, because then people will know you're committed to excellence. You want to be special. Not to say, hey, here I am, but help other people and caring about people.
That's the difference between the greats. That's what separates them. When they don't have no more, when it's over, when they're tired, when they're frustrated, when they're ready to give up, when they spent their last dime, that's when they get started.
You are the master of your destiny. All right, I gotta tell y'all this. You ever seen a giraffe? Like their body? Does it look like a lion's body? When a lion is born and a giraffe is born, are they born with that body?
Once you develop discipline, or if you already have it developed, you will notice how easy it becomes to not buy that expensive hat, burger, earplugs, etc. on impulse. You'll also feel better because you now know you have full control over yourself and your life. This way, you will be building confidence which will make everything easier. If you believe in what you are doing and you are 100%, then achieving your dreams will be a child's play. Do not get discouraged if you have not developed your discipline to the level you want. Just like every other thing in life, it takes work to get it.
I want to be a millionaire. I want to be the best at this company, right? But your value system says you believe in sleep more than you believe in grinding. Your value system says you are a consumer and not a producer. Listen to me. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, when you ain't got nothing left in your tank, you got to think about the people in your life that you're doing this for. And then if you could think about them, you could go one more mile. You could go one more day at work. You can find a scholarship. Listen to me, when you're doing it for somebody else, when you like that lion, if I don't grind, if we don't grind, if I don't grind, they don't eat.
Listen to that. Feel that. Let it flow through your veins. Your mind is the perfect weapon. What you think, there so you shall be. You have got to understand that you have to take complete control of your life and master your destiny. Your mind is a perfect weapon. It can build or it can destroy. But no matter what, it is up to you to make the right decisions in your life and carry on, mastering your destiny.
And if there's one thing I would say that does make it easier, it's to envision what it feels like when you're done.
And how far are you willing to take yourself? There are going to be many people that are going to try to interrupt your destiny. There are going to be many people in your life that are going to try to pull you back. There are going to be many obstacles in your life that's going to try to take you down. But I'm here to let you know right now that your destiny is in your hands.
Another key to success that hard work leads to is appreciation. When you start making sacrifices, you will also understand why the little things in life are important. Of course, you also value your work and your achievements, but it doesn't have to stop at work accomplishments. A byproduct of this will be building a character, becoming a better person for you and those around you. It will also help you overcome laziness, procrastination, doubts, fear of failure, insecurities, and bad habits. Most people around the world are wasting quite some time waiting for things to happen. This is called living reactive life, whereas proactive is the way to go. People striving for success will never wait for the right opportunity. They will try to create it, thus living proactively. Those waiting for opportunities, which they also rarely capitalize on, are just looking for excuses to delay action.
So get to know those two different types of feelings and ask yourself which one you want to feel in 10 minutes or in a half an hour. When the thing is done, when the discipline has been implemented, remember what that feels like, and then remember that those minutes and those hours, they turn into weeks and months and years, and holding the line in those critical minutes will put you in an infinitely better place physically and mentally if you maintain the discipline.
It's something to consider, because the other side of that is so great and so big, and all it takes is a perspective switch up from I can't afford to lose this, which is something you never really wanted in the first place, to I can't afford not to go after this, because if I don't, my life will be shitty.
I walk in here, you can look at a linebacker and see who a linebacker is. Linebacker look different than a quarterback. Make sure you get what I just said. A quarterback doesn't look like a running back, and a wide receiver doesn't look like a DT. What's going on? It is how you practice. It is what you do that makes you look like you look. It is the process of the grind that shapes you and forms you. It's not the game.
Start putting some pressure on. Put some pressure on yourself. Get out here and get about it. Look, I'd love to sugarcoat this thing for you. I'd love to tell you, look, you can go out here and get rich, do a couple of things. They ain't happening. You got to get real doggish. You got to get downright funky if you want to make it. Now, like I was telling you before, if you want to be ordinary, you ain't even got to listen to me. Just go on about your business.
If you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, to twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss.
If you are living life proactively, you have a much better chance of creating the right opportunity and capitalizing on it. Some will say that you were lucky, but that is not even close to the truth. Those working hard towards their dreams and goals can seem lucky on the outside, but it is all a byproduct of what they've done up until now. Seeing results does not only keep you motivated, but it also helps you track your progress. No matter if we're talking about working out, career, dating life, self-care, etc. The only way to keep seeing results is to keep working towards a goal.
Why would you want to be lazy? It's all business, nothing personal. If you want it, go get it. Procrastination will assassinate your motivation. And without motivation, how can you reach your destination?
Things go wrong, they always seem to happen at once, and they just compound on top of each other. And it's pretty easy sometimes to feel beaten when you're faced with all those issues and all those problems, and they all hit you at the same time. But let me tell you, that doesn't mean give up. In fact, it means the opposite. It means it's time for you to fight harder, to dig in. It means it's time for you to go on the warpath. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise.
It's when you have nothing left. It's when you depleted all your money, when all your energy gone, when you have nothing left. That's when it's showtime. When you find a way out of no way. When you find breath that you don't have. When you find energy that did not exist. When you want this thing as bad as you want to breathe, that's when you find a way.
And you got to stand tall. And you got to push forward. And you got to believe. And you got to fight. And you got to push. Because you are the master of your destiny. Now what do you do with it? It's an unknown thing. Life is an unknown thing. But it's always been said that it's beautiful. As long as you're living, it's beautiful. Now what do you do with it? Are you confused? Are you lost? Are you lost in the wilderness and you don't even know where you need to go and how far you can go? Are you feeling weak? Do you feel that you can't carry on because you don't know what your destiny is? Strength doesn't spell weakness.